All right, everybody. So I'm talking about snacks and treats today. So for me, there's a small difference between the two. Now, when we're talking about snacks, especially for children, they're to eat 3 times a day and have 2 snacks a day as well for their energy and keeping up with nutritional growth and all that. So that said, a treat in my eyes is closer to this, something that you can set up for them to earn. And it's also something that doesn't become a routine part of their nutritional intake, especially if you're talking about 2 times a day. I understand this is very convenient. You buy these in a value pack, and there's like 30 of them in a box, and go get yourself a snack. But let's do better. That's just my opinion in my house as a parent. So this is an old school snack. I definitely remember, go grab an apple. You have oranges. There's bananas. My house, we had nuts out all the time, just like in a dish or whatever. So I'll do trail mix out there. There's a lot of things. I've got blueberries, strawberries in the refrigerator. There's carrot chips. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't something that can be part of an everyday thing, but does it really need to be? Not when we're talking about also needing to have 5 servings, meaning 3 vegetable and two fruit, if I'm not mistaken. So really, we want to make sure that this doesn't override the things that we actually need for proper development, because it's not just physical development; it's also how our brain is functioning and other parts of the body as well. So think of having your children earn a treat rather than just a snack, because a snack is really inherently what they need for their development. Um, we are looking at, and I'm going to look down here because I don't know it all. 14.4 million children are affected by obesity. Now, it doesn't mean that this in itself is going to create that, but what we're talking about are long-term and psychological effects, being conditioned to have these. Not to mention, if these just become, I don't want to say like physically addicting, but I'm sure there's things in them that we just start to crave more, so that becomes dangerous. Let me give more broken down stats. 13% for ages 2 to 5, 20% for ages 6 to 11, and 21% for ages 12 to 19. So that's a huge part of health and long-term health as well. You couple this and just things like this, that's just the representative. It's nothing against Cheetos or anything else. But when you couple that with a more sedentary lifestyle, based off of things like the pandemic. I'll start with the pandemic. It shut a lot of people in, and it separated a lot of people and kids from being able to do things, team sports, so forth and so on. And so we are still coming out of that. And in a lot of ways, we're still recovering from that. Video games have always been kind of one of those things that have been on the debate table. But I know that there are kids who are very active and still have video games as well. So a lot of this is moderation, especially when you're talking about from, Cheetos to trail mix. Those can be definite just moderation things that a lot of responsible parents should be teaching their kids. So even if they're not around, they're monitoring themselves to not just ingratiate themselves in the junk food or the easy food. Like I said, long-term psychological, the eating habits, and these things are taught at home. They're often also, again, I'm looking down. They're often bombarded into our homes through advertising. Every other commercial, we see something new, something fun. There's commercials, there's colors, there's animated, animals to push the brand. So then there's that, and it triggers us into thinking, wow, that looks fun. Then that couples into peer pressure. So you go to the playground, at school, at the lunch table, even at work, we see people eating and drinking the popular thing, and that also becomes part of it. And there's something, I can't remember where I saw it, but it did speak to your grouping. A lot of times people together in their own group will slide into things like poorer health, because you're looking at potentially smoking together or eating terribly together, drinking together. So the opposite can be said as well, doing fitness, things like that. So think of these things being earned. Also, little side notes, even if you're giving things like apple juice, and again, this is nothing against these particular brands, but when you're looking at 48 grams of total sugar, 210 calories, that's a lot of calories in something like this. This to me is like a concentrate. I would mix this with about 4 to 5 times the water to serve this as a drink to not only myself but a child. When we were looking at this again, you see like an animal and bright colors and all that. What is the sugars on this? 43 grams of sugar, 86%, 160 calories. Again, that's not even counting the all of the other things that are in this. So again, this is something again that would be a treat, and I would say, hey, let's do root beer floats or something like that. If you're going to do your cheat day, do it in style. But this is the key. Water. Get that water in you, and that's for all of us, because I know there's days that I don't get enough water, and you can definitely feel it. But when you're talking about brain function, how it feeds your muscles, your digestive system, all of those things benefit from having water, not just liquid. So this is not going to suffice. Your body needs actual water. I also do recommend things like this. Just an electrolyte sort of drink over like a Gatorade or a Powerade, things like that. It does have sugars in it. It's got 18% sugars. Let's see. This is 3 servings, and the calories for the container is 100 calories. So this is something that you see like when children are sick, or if you're sick and you have vomiting, diarrhea. That's said to help as far as replacing. So I would even mix that with a little bit of water, but it's great for workouts as well. So guys, these are just my thoughts on starting with a treat versus a snack, how you can have your children be motivated to earn that treat rather than just be given a snack and it being the same thing. I know a lot of people will say, well, my kids don't eat this, this, and that, but you pay the bills in your house. You are the one who introduces these things into your homes in a lot of cases. So these are things that we have to fall upon ourselves as parents, as adults, and the people who are bringing up young people into knowing better. And if you don't know better as an adult, there's YouTube, there's Google, there are plenty of things to just ask the question in your mind, and usually it will pop up a list of things that you can read the answers on. And I'm sure a lot of people know people around them. There's really no excuses, and it's not to admonish people. This is not a shaming tactic. This is really meant to be a helpful reminder or introduction to a lot of people. So I hope that it's received in the spirit that it is meant to be given. I'm going to leave it at that. And hopefully this helps. If you have any questions or comments, I will do what I can. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just somebody who is interested in doing better for myself, doing better for my children and those around me. Guys, hopefully everybody is in a good place, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.